Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Of course the dogs start barking right now. It's May. New girl on the calendar. And before anybody says anything, Lisa, my wife, put that calendar in here. She's the one that hung that on the wall, so hey, it's May 1st. So, kind of where I left off yesterday. I've been doing a lot of studying, looking, and figuring. What I figured out, because it doesn't really matter, well, it kind of does, but doesn't really matter on the pillars where it lands. What matters, the bottom of that door goes over the top of this piece right here. So you gotta have clearance so that the door's not rubbing on it. So you can't get it up too high. The outside here is where this seal on this bottom of this door seals against this outside edge here. So that's what matters. That outside edge lines right up with the seal so the door seal can actually work. The other thing, you got your 90 with your flange coming down. It's about 10 mil deep here, and the flange is about 19 mil deep here, which I thought it was 19 all the way across, but I got looking at the panel for the other side, and she's at an angle. So you need it to hit the bottom of the doors, be about 10 mil in at the B pillar, and about 19 mil in at the back of the quarter panel. So as long as you can get that squared into your door, and I'm talking about where the door is actually right. That door gaps are nice. Byline's good. This side was never hit. The other side's a mess. It was hitting the two worst spots you can on a beetle. It was hit right here, and it was hit right here, which twists these pillars. So the other side, before I can find a weld everything, that's gonna be, that door opening has to be freaking fixed. And I'm thinking the best way to do that is I got it tacked, because I wasn't sure when I put this first together till I got it onto the chassis. But now that I got the pans all in there, that's staying just like it is, because I still have to figure out the distance that's supposed to be out. And so that side, I'll leave it like that, because then if I have to, like I said, it's just tacked in a couple spots, so I can cut those. I can try and twist them pillars, move them up and down so the roof line is running right. I can do all that when she's back on the frame. So, and as far as the front, as long as you get it so it's sitting under your door properly and your back quarter panel properly so it looks right when you're running boards on here, this front is hidden with the fender. I mean, it lines up the closer you can get it, the closer your holes in your pans are going to end up. But you can always tweak your holes in your pans to match your tunnels. So this isn't as important because this is all hidden. And that metal is junk, so all this metal is getting replaced. I gotta go up to about there. This is thin as super thin, so it's gonna have to have a panel cut and put in there. So wherever this goes, I just make a filler panel to, or a panel to fix that and finish it off. So yeah, that's what matters. Making sure the bottom of the door can seal, and making sure you have your gaps in the quarter panel right, so your running board looks right when it's on the car. So I have enough metal chopped out of this, and I couldn't get it to go all together last night till I took it apart, and now it's in there where it's supposed to be. So this bottom flange on the other side, I punched 4 holes for spot welds. So I need to take this apart, punch my spot weld holes into the bottom, so when it's all together I can just spot weld that to the bottom of the tunnel. It gets welded all the way around when it's done. So I'll punch my holes, and I'm going to burn in a couple spot welds in here to hold it. And I'm going to try and put this in as one unit. Tweak it around to where it's hitting that door seal. And I have my distances. And yeah. And that quarter hasn't moved much because that 90 is almost a 10 mil wide here. It gets thinner as it goes back because it was rusty. But it still has the 90 all the way back to about there. So that's giving that structure. So that's what I'm going to do. Get them holes drilled. Well, I got that punch. And spot weld that together and see if I can't put that back in. And there was one little spot that looked like it was interfering, like right in here, like I didn't get quite enough of. It's almost better to have it a little short, because once it's in the car and welded, I mean, you can cut your welds and drop your tunnel down a little bit and do some filler. Or if it sits in there, just put some filler in there. But once it's in the car and welded, you can't take a grinder and knock that back. So I'm going to take flapper disc and I'm going to take that and smooth that. Well, feels like weld right there. I'm going to knock that off quick. Get those holes punched. Get a couple spot welds on. And then see if I can't like turn it, because that wing that comes out has to go into that back bracket, and this has to go into that. So since I should be able to turn it, set it up in there, get that back up in there with this front piece down, because there's that pipe for that defrost vent. So I'll drop the front down, twist it to get it up onto that, and twist it, get it up on there, and then bring it up, and then put this front piece back up in there and see how that works. And go figure out why my dogs are barking. Oh, and I love this little hole punch. Except for the holes are just a little smaller than I'd like for spot welds. So I started like punching it and rolling back and forth to give me a little bit bigger hole. I mean, if you're a good welder, then it wouldn't matter. But with that little hole, if you messed up at all when he started, it was gone in a freaking heartbeat. So that gives you a little bit more room to spot weld. But I love that thing because it doesn't put any burrs. Because if you sit there with a drill and drill it out, then you're sitting there with a grinder knocking down all the burrs. So there's my spot weld for the bottom and the side. And the rest of it gets solid welded along that. So I'm looking at this right. Goes in like that. Yeah, that gets welded right along there on that pillar or that quarter panel. So yeah. Anyways, I'll keep working. And that's how it's supposed to lock together. That flange should be flat. I had to bend this flange here so it went with that seam. But yeah, that gets put spot welded in there, and that bottom locks under. I can't get it to focus. It locks underneath that heater tunnel. And since I've never tried to put this together as one piece, I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I'm going to put a couple spot welds in and see if I can make it fit. I don't know. I'd like to, if that does go in one piece, it'd be cool to just take this thing, flip it over, spot weld it, and then weld it along here, because it'd be a whole lot easier to do it just sitting out. So I might throw a couple spot welds on here, see if I can get it in the car, and if I can, I might take it back out and just weld this all together. It can't, there's no adjustment here. I mean, once, it's kind of hard, but you put this together, it kind of locks right in there. I mean, there's no real adjustment to it. So once it's in there, it's just locked. So yeah, I might do that. Throw a couple spot welds on here. If I can get it in the car, then I'm going to weld this piece to this piece. Be done with it. I don't have to worry about it later then. Alrighty. Okay, got a couple spot welds in there. That's all the way back in there. So that's where that's supposed to sit. So let's see if I can get this in the car. I cleaned that bottom up a little bit. I just seen that sticking out. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's see if I can get this in the car. Well, I had a video made and a motorcycle pulled in at the gas station blaring his music. So that video is junk because I don't need a copyright infraction. But yes, I can put it in with that tail on there. I'm looking at it, seeing if it's worth pulling it back out. It's really close. Or just running with it. The sheet metal's touching on the outside there where it's supposed to. put some pressure on it, get it up in them posts like it's supposed to be. Knock it around a little bit. I don't know. It's sitting up on that wing. So let me do a little figuring out here and see what we can get done. Tomorrow's Friday. I thought I seen Bonbon coming in here. Hey, Bonbon. Anyways, it's close. There's just something a little bit off yet. I'm trying to figure it out. But yes, I was able to get that in with the back panel welded on. Well, spot welder. So I am going to, it's close. There's something up in this corner that's messing with me, so I pull that over and it drops down a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch. It moves down when it comes over. So there's something in there that's messing with me. So I got a little bit more figuring out to do. But that gap underneath the door is pretty good. So I set up my light and I am going to crawl around underneath this thing and try and figure out. It's so close. There's just something a little stupid. Either has to go a little forward or there's a burr someplace. Something's messing with me. So I'm going to crawl around and try and figure out what that is. And probably made enough video for the night. Don't want to bore you guys too much. But hi, Bonbon. You gonna say hi to your fans? Where'd you go? Where'd the Bonbon go? Oh, there's the Bonbon. You gonna say hi to your fans? Well, you gonna say hi to everybody? You gonna say hi? Yeah, I love my bonbons. Alright, say goodnight. Say goodnight. Bonbon, help me out here. Whoop, I'm blocking your food. You're okay, Bonbon. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.